Welcome aboard, fellow adventurers. Whether you're planning your very first cruise, or you've already caught the travel bug and can't wait to set sail again, you're in the right place. Maybe you're someone who loves organizing every detail, or maybe you're the spontaneous type who just wants to enjoy the ocean breeze, the food, and the freedom. Either way, there's one thing we all have in common. We want the best experience without the unexpected headaches. Now, cruising sounds like a dream. Turquoise waters, endless buffets, stress-free mornings at sea. But here's the truth no one tells you. That dream can quickly turn into frustration, wasted money, and even some downright awkward situations, if you don't know what to look out for. That's why in this video, I'm going to walk you through 15 of the most useful and often overlooked cruise secrets that can help you avoid rookie mistakes, save money, and travel like a seasoned pro. If you love practical tips, smooth experiences, and getting the most out of every trip, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more cruise travel wisdom right here on Travel Vibes. Ready? Let's sail smart. Part 1. The hidden costs sitting in your fridge. Let's kick things off with something that surprises nearly every first-time cruiser, that innocent-looking mini fridge in your cabin. Now, if you're like most travelers in the US planning their cruise getaway, folks who love convenience, value for money, and maybe a little late-night snack, this might feel like a treat waiting for you. But hold up. Inside that fridge, you'll probably see a chilled soda, maybe a tiny bottle of whiskey, or even some fancy-looking snacks. It feels like part of the package, right? Especially if you purchased a drink plan. But here's what most cruise lines don't advertise. Those minibar items are rarely included. One casual grab can lead to surprise charges showing up on your account, and they add up fast. Instead of falling into that trap, hit the pool bar, grab a drink from the buffet, or call room service. They're already part of your fare. You've paid for convenience. Don't pay twice for the same experience. Now that you know what to avoid in your own cabin, let's talk about one small move that could lead to big trouble. Coming up in Part 2. Part 2. The wind trap that no one warns you about. Now that we've tackled the pricey surprises in your fridge, let's move to something even more unexpected and potentially dangerous, lurking right inside your cabin. If you've booked a room with a balcony, which many American cruisers prefer for that ocean breeze and private views, this tip is especially for you. Picture this. You open your cabin door to grab a coffee or say hi to your neighbor, and at the same time, your balcony door is wide open behind you. Sounds harmless, right? But what you've just created is a full-blown wind tunnel. The sudden pressure shift can cause doors to slam shut violently, knock items off tables, send papers flying, and in some cases lead to serious injuries. Many travelers planning their cruise from the US are families, retirees, or couples seeking relaxation, not chaos. So here's the simple fix. Always keep one door closed when opening the other. Think of it like an airlock system, one open at a time. That small habit can keep your cabin calm, your stuff intact, and your fingers safely out of the way. Coming up next, a mistake that could end your cruise early? And yes, it's one that still catches even frequent cruisers off guard. Part 3. What you light could get you kicked off. Let's keep the momentum going with something every traveler needs to know, especially those who enjoy unwinding with a smoke. Whether you're cruising solo with your partner or as part of a group from back home, here's the deal. Cruise ships have absolutely zero tolerance for smoking in cabins or on balconies. That includes cigarettes, cigars, vapes, incense, even that legal at-home stuff. And it doesn't matter if you're from California or Florida, or if you've smoked on hotel balconies before. On a ship, the rules are different, because the risk is far greater. One tiny spark can lead to a catastrophic fire at sea, and cruise lines don't take chances. Break this rule and you could face heavy fines, or worse, be removed at the next port. No refunds, no second chances. For many American travelers, especially those who cruise to unwind and reset, this rule can catch them off guard. So here's what to do instead. Use the clearly marked designated smoking areas on deck. They're open air, safe, and located far from cabins and families. Next up, let's talk about some surprising things you might be tempted to pack, but really shouldn't. Stay tuned for Part 4. Part 4. What not to pack even if it seems harmless. Now let's move from what you do on board to what you bring with you. If you're like most US-based travelers, planning your cruise from home with the best intentions, trying to stay comfortable, prepared, maybe even stylish, this one might surprise you. Some items that seem completely normal on land are strictly banned at sea. We're talking about things like irons and steamers, because of the fire risk. Surge-protected power strips? Not allowed either. They can mess with the ship's electrical systems. Candles, incense, and anything with an open flame? Definitely out. But here's the one that catches even experienced cruisers. CBD oil. Yes, even if it's legal in your home state. Cruise ships operate under maritime law, and many treat CBD products like controlled substances. Bringing them on board could mean fines, confiscation, or even being denied boarding. So before you zip up your suitcase, take a few minutes to review your cruise line's official prohibited items list. One overlooked item can create a real headache at embarkation. Next, let's step back into your cabin and talk about a spot that feels private but isn't nearly as private as you think. That's coming up in Part 5. Part 5. Your balcony isn't as private as you think. So far we've talked about what to pack, and more importantly, what not to. But now, let's take a moment to talk about that balcony. You know, the one you paid extra for. The one that promised peaceful coffee mornings and sunset views. It's beautiful, yes. But here's what many American cruisers don't realize until it's too late. Your balcony isn't as private as it seems. If you're cruising as a couple, a solo traveler looking to unwind, or part of a family hoping for some quiet space, this might catch you off guard. Most balconies are partially visible from neighboring cabins, from decks above, and sometimes even from tender boats alongside the ship. So if you're thinking about sneaking in a wardrobe change, sunbathing in your robe, or having a deep conversation assuming no one else can hear or see you, think again. Here's the golden rule. Treat your balcony like a semi-public space. Enjoy it, breathe it in, take those selfies, just keep things modest. You'll avoid awkward moments and enjoy that ocean breeze with total peace of mind. Up next, let's talk about the fuzzy robe hanging in your cabin closet and why you probably shouldn't take it home. That's coming up in Part 6. Part 6. What's yours to use, not yours to keep. Now, after enjoying the breeze on that not-so-private balcony, you might be tempted to bring a little comfort home with you, like that plush robe or those cozy slippers waiting in your cabin. And hey, who wouldn't want a piece of that floating luxury to remember the trip by? But here's the thing. Unless the cruise line explicitly says they're complimentary, they're not yours to keep. This is a common slip-up, especially for American travelers who are used to hotels offering take-home goodies. On cruises, however, the rules are different. Yes, you're welcome to use the robes and slippers while on board, but taking them with you? That could show up as a charge on your final bill, or even be treated as theft. A smart rule to cruise by. If it's made of fabric or feels too nice to be free, leave it behind. Shampoo bottles, soap, and other small toiletries, usually fair game. But robes, towels, and slippers, they stay with the ship. Trust me, the best souvenirs aren't found hanging in your closet. They're the ones you discover in port, crafted by locals, and tied to real memories. Coming up next, let's talk about a small act of kindness that can totally transform your onboard experience. You don't want to miss Part 7. Part 7. The secret to exceptional service. After settling into your cabin, one of the most important people you'll interact with on your cruise isn't the captain or the cruise director, it's your cabin steward. These hardworking crew members are the ones behind the fresh towels, the neatly made beds, and sometimes even those fun little towel animals that greet you after a long day exploring. Now, many U.S. travelers, especially families, older couples, or retirees looking for a relaxing, all-inclusive experience, often assume that everything is automatic. And while daily service is included, exceptional service? That usually starts with a little human kindness. A warm smile, a simple thank you, or even a small tip of $10 at the beginning of your cruise goes a long way. It tells your steward, I see you, I appreciate you. And more often than not, that appreciation will come back to you tenfold, in the form of faster service, personalized touches, and an overall smoother stay. Remember, Your vacation is their workplace. Treating them with respect isn't just polite, it elevates the entire cruise experience. Coming up next, you've probably seen those do not disturb and makeup room signs on your door handle, but are you using them to your advantage? Let's talk about that in Part 8. Part 8, the underrated power of a door hanger. Now let's talk about a detail so small, many cruisers overlook it completely, and yet it can make a big difference in your onboard experience. You've seen them, those little signs hanging on your cabin door handle that say "Do Not Disturb" or "Makeup Room." They may look like simple hotel-style accessories, but on a cruise, they're your best line of defense against awkward surprises and missed service. For many U.S. travelers, especially retirees, couples celebrating anniversaries, or even digital nomads taking a work cash-in at sea, cabin privacy matters. Maybe you're sleeping in after a long excursion, or maybe you're on a video call. Using the "Do Not Disturb" sign signals your cabin steward to come back later. No knock, no interruption, no problem. On the flip side, if you're heading out for breakfast or to explore the next port, flip the tag to "Makeup Room." It tells your steward the coast is clear, and you'll come back to a fresh bed, new towels, and maybe even a towel animal waiting to greet you. Cruise smart? These signs aren't just polite, they're practical. And once you get in the habit of using them, you'll wonder how you ever cruised without them. Next, we're dialing down the volume and stepping into something every cruiser should master: being a considerate neighbor. That's Part 9. Stay tuned. Part 9. How to be the neighbor everyone wishes they had. Let's face it, you didn't come on a cruise to hear someone else's late-night movie or 6 a.m. phone call through the wall, and neither did your neighbors. Cruise cabins might be cozy and comfortable, but they're not soundproof. And this is something many travelers, especially first-timers from the US, don't realize until they're already on board. Whether you're a retired couple enjoying a peaceful getaway, a solo traveler soaking up quiet time, or a group celebrating a milestone, remember that everyone has their own rhythm. Some like to sleep in, others wake with the sun. So the key to good cruise etiquette? Be mindful of your noise. That means keeping the volume low on your TV, using headphones when watching videos, and avoiding loud conversations in the hallway. And here's a big one. Don't slam your cabin door. It might not seem like a big deal, but on a quiet deck, it echoes, especially in the early morning or late at night. Kindness on a cruise doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as closing a door gently. Next, let's head back into your bathroom, because the next mistake might seem small, but could cause a much bigger mess than you'd expect. Don't miss Part 10. Part 10, the one bathroom rule you can't afford to break. We've talked about being a great neighbor. Now let's head into the bathroom for one of the most overlooked cruise rules that could save you from a seriously awkward situation. Cruise toilets aren't like the ones at home or in hotels. They run on a vacuum system. Super efficient, yes, but also extremely sensitive. And this is where many US travelers slip up. Whether you're cruising as a retiree, part of a multi-generational family, or even a first-time solo explorer, chances are you'll bring along some wet wipes, feminine products, or other bathroom essentials. But here's the thing, none of that should go down the toilet. On a cruise ship, even something as small as a cotton swab can clog the system. Not just in your cabin, but sometimes for multiple rooms around you. Trust me, the last thing you want during your relaxing vacation is to be the reason a plumbing crew has to rip up your hallway. The golden rule? Only flush toilet paper. Everything else goes in the bin. It might feel strange, but it's how cruise ships are designed. And a little awareness goes a long way in keeping your cabin and your reputation clean. Now ready to dry off and talk laundry? Next, we're heading to the balcony again. And it's not just about towels flapping in the wind. Stick around for Part 11. Part 11. Why your balcony isn't a drying rack. After mastering cruise bathroom etiquette, let's step back onto your balcony, this time with a quick word about laundry. If you're like many American travelers, packing light, cruising for a week or more, maybe even bringing kids, chances are you'll want to rinse and dry a few things during the trip. A swimsuit here, a quick wash of socks there. And with that ocean breeze, your balcony railing might seem like the perfect spot. But here's what most people don't realize. Hanging laundry on your balcony is against cruise policy, and it's a safety hazard. Clothing or towels can blow overboard in an instant. Not only does this create litter in the sea, but flapping fabric can block views, fall onto lifeboats, or even cause complaints from other passengers. And yes, cruise staff will remove items and may issue a warning if they see it. Instead, plan ahead. Pack a compact travel clothesline, or use the retractable one inside the shower. Most cabins have one built in. It's discreet, safe, and keeps your cabin tidy. Coming up next, we'll talk about how to pack like a seasoned cruiser, with a few surprising tools that can make your cabin feel twice as functional. That's Part 12. Part 12. Small packing tricks that make a big difference. Now that we've cleared up the laundry situation, let's take a step back before you even set foot on the ship and talk about how to pack like a cruise pro. Because here's the truth. The smartest cruisers aren't always the ones with the biggest suitcases. They're the ones who know how to pack with intention. If you're one of the many American travelers who value comfort, convenience, and getting the most out of every square inch of space, these tips are for you. Cruise cabins can be compact, but with the right tools, you can make yours feel surprisingly functional. First, bring an over-the-door organizer. Great for storing toiletries, chargers, sunscreen, even sunglasses. Then, pack a few magnetic hooks. Yes, really. The cabin walls are metal, and these little guys can hold hats, lanyards, or bags without damaging anything. And for those middle-of-the-night bathroom trips, a small clip-on nightlight or travel motion light will save you from fumbling in the dark. And here's a digital bonus. Download your cruise line's app before you board. It'll let you track spending, see what's happening around the ship, and book activities, all without waiting in line. Next, we're talking valuables. How to protect your most important items while still keeping things convenient. That's coming up in Part 13. Part 13, how to keep your valuables safe without stress. So you've packed like a pro, your cabin is organized. Now let's talk about something every traveler worries about, whether they admit it or not, keeping your valuables secure. Now to be fair, cruise theft is rare. Most ships are safe, tightly monitored environments. But you know what's surprisingly common? Misplacing important items, passports, extra cash, prescription meds, even that emergency credit card you swore you'd keep track of. One distracted moment, and it's gone. For travelers in the US, especially older adults, solo travelers, or families with kids, peace of mind is everything. That's why the tiny in-room cabin safe is your best friend. It's not flashy, but it works. Store your essentials there every time you leave the cabin. Your passport, jewelry, extra cards, medications, and any important documents. And here's a digital tip that can save you hours of stress. Take photos of your IDs, prescriptions, and travel documents, then upload them to a secure cloud service like Google Drive. That way, even if the physical copies disappear, you'll have access from your phone. Coming up next, an innocent mistake that could create a serious safety risk in your cabin. We're talking fire hazards, and it's all in Part 14. Part 14. Why just a minute is a minute too long. We've covered how to protect your belongings. Now, let's talk about protecting something even more important. Your loved ones. If you're a parent, grandparent, or guardian cruising with children, there's one rule you need to take seriously. Never leave kids alone in your cabin. Not even for a minute. Whether you're just stepping out to grab coffee, heading to the buffet, or chatting with a neighbor in the hallway, cruise ships consider unattended minors a safety risk, and they don't take it lightly. U.S. families, especially those cruising for the first time, are often surprised to learn that even briefly leaving your child in the room could result in a warning, or worse, removal from the cruise altogether. And while cabins may feel safe, remember, you're on a moving vessel with thousands of people, and doors lock automatically. If something goes wrong, help may not be seconds away. So what can you do? Ask guest services about supervised kids clubs or babysitting options. Most cruise lines offer excellent programs that are not only safe, but fun and engaging, giving parents peace of mind while kids have a blast. Next up is our final chapter. It's all about how to leave the ship like a pro, avoid last-day chaos, and finish your cruise on a high note. Don't miss Part 15. Part 15. Make your last day smooth, not stressful. We've made it through almost every cruise cabin secret, but there's one more moment that can either wrap your trip in a bow or unravel it in chaos: disembarkation day. For many U.S. cruisers, especially first-timers or retirees flying home the same day, the final morning can feel rushed and confusing. Luggage piles up in hallways, long lines form early, and questions like, "Where do I go?" or "Did I pay for that charge?" start flying around. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be that way. If you take a few smart steps the night before, you'll skip the chaos and exit the ship like a seasoned traveler. First, attend the disembarkation talk or read the info left in your room. It explains the process in plain language. Second, use the luggage tags provided. They tell crew members where your bags need to go. Third, settle your onboard account before the last-minute rush at guest services. And here's a golden tip: book your airport transfer in advance and give yourself extra time before your flight. Ships don't wait, and delays happen. With that, you're ready to step off the ship confidently and start planning your next adventure. But don't go just yet. We've still got the final wrap-up waiting. Let's bring it all together. And just like that, we've reached the final port in our journey today. From minibar traps to balcony safety, from packing secrets to last-day smooth exits, now you've got the insider knowledge to cruise smarter, calmer, and with total confidence. Because here's the truth. Cruising isn't just about where you're going. It's about how you experience the ride. And when you know the secrets no one tells you, you turn rookie mistakes into pro-level decisions. You protect your time, your budget, your peace of mind. So whether you're planning your very first cruise, or you've already got one foot back on the gangway, remember this: the more you know, the smoother you sail. If you found today's tips helpful, give this video a like, subscribe to Travel Vibes for more cruise wisdom, and drop a comment below. What's one cruise secret you swear by? Or what's a mistake you'll never make again? Until next time, safe travels, calm seas, and may your next cruise be your best one yet.